Hi, one of the big problems that people face is the nursing home. This is Lee Phillips, and I've helped people for a couple of 3 decades try and figure out how to put mom into the rest home and how to finance her stay in the rest home. First of all, you need to understand that the rest home isn't usually a long-term item. That isn't always correct. I had one grandparent that stayed in there about 2 years, and I had another grandpa and grandma that stayed in about 7 years together, and then grandma died and grandpa was in the rest home for another 5 years. We're talking a long time. And the rest homes, they're not cheap. So how do you finance the rest home? The best way I've found to do it is mom will have some sort of an income, Social Security, maybe dad left a little pension, we've got some income. Mom's been living somehow. And we take that. Now, there won't be any more income tax on it because the rest home is going to be 100% of mom's income, and that's a deductible item. Yeah, you have to be above the 10% of adjusted gross income in order to deduct the medical expenses and all of that stuff, but she's going to make that. So she's going to eat up all of the income. There isn't going to be any income tax. That'll help. The other thing that you do is mom's house, I'll bet you, chokes me all up, I'll bet you is paid for. And there isn't a mortgage on it. Mom and dad have lived there for a long time. So the first thing people do is they sell that house. In my opinion, that's a mistake. Clean out the house when mom goes into the rest home. The government won't make you sell a house even if mom is on Medicaid. Frankly, you don't want mom on Medicaid. Medicaid facilities aren't the best. So keep the house, clean it out, which you're going to have to do anyway one of these days. Clean it out and rent it. That gives mother a second income. Between her Social Security, the little bit of pension, and the rent, we now have a fair amount of money that can go towards the rest home. And you're not going to quite be there. I'll be willing to bet on that. So what else can you do? Well, usually mom's got $50,000, $100,000 in bank accounts and other stuff. So what you're going to have to do is take that extra money and supplement $2,000 or $3,000, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Between the rental income, the Social Security pension stuff, and just taking a little bit out of mom's savings, then we can probably make it. That'll probably pay for the rest home. And you can sustain that for quite a while. Mom usually isn't going to be in that long. The average stay is 90 days or something. It's not huge. So don't be afraid to put mom in the rest home. When little grandma, I remember my great-grandmother being at my grandmother's house, and they didn't want to put her in a rest home. She was in really bad shape. She was totally paralyzed. They had to turn her every 2 hours, and she lived that way for years. I remember going to see little grandma at grandma's house in the back bedroom. They didn't want to put her in a rest home. 100 years ago, well, 70 years ago, the rest homes were hellholes. I'll give that to you. But now, most of them aren't too bad. When you shop around, you can get a pretty good one. So do the shopping, do the price comparison too, and with the pension, Social Security, the rent on the house, and a little bit of extra, you can probably get mom in the rest home, and it's not going to be a bad deal. So don't try and qualify her for Medicaid. We've got another YouTube on that. But don't try and qualify her for Medicaid. Just get her, take all of her money, and spend it. Oh, that cuts your inheritance, doesn't it? Well, I got news for you. If you can get mom out of here on her own dime, even if she doesn't leave you a dime, she did a good job. Her obligation is not to leave you a bunch of money. Her obligation is to take care of herself. And if she can do that, she did good. Lee Phillips talking about Mom and the Rest Home.